Welcome. This is going to be my first attempt to explaining the Bartenieff Fundamentals exercise called the knee drop. I say first because I do find this, or many of Bartenieff's exercises or somatic exercises, to be hard to explain, and especially through a screen. So I will do my best now, and I will certainly insert pictures or writings that also explain this exercise. So we would come to a constructive rest position, and before I get into the position, I just want to say that the exercise is more so about moving the bones and the relationship with the body through the pushing of the floor, I would say, more so than it is about doing something muscularly. Now, obviously, we move muscles when we move our body, but I think that in terms of intention and how you want to think about some of these exercises, you almost want to get in touch with your bones, what your bones are doing, rather than thinking that you are controlling something with your muscle. So let's come to a constructive rest position. All right, and I will now drop both of my knees to the right side of my body. And when I say drop, I mean they just fall to the side. So there is no tension in my pelvis, there's no leading them anywhere, it's just a drop. So drop, okay. Now from here, we would want to return to the previous position where our knees are pointing up, right? But before we do so, I would like you to consider pushing slightly into the floor with your feet, as I am doing now. Okay. And maybe we can do so a little bit faster, so we create a rocking sensation or a rocking motion through our body. Now, as you're rocking, now this is never supposed to be a set form, okay? You rock, and whatever your body does is what your body does. However, I find, and I think many of you will also find, that there is a relation between the pushing of the foot, the knee, especially the top knee, but I would say both of the knees, and then not the hip bone, but the leg bone, the part of it that is kind of protruding on the side here. Okay, can you see how there is kind of a zigzag motion going on there? Okay, and maybe if you really relax throughout your body, you can find that motion coming all the way up to your left shoulder. Okay, so you can stay here and just find those diagonals in the body, find the connections in the body through pushing, through moving the bones. Okay, come to stillness. Now, I would like you to repeat what we just did. So pushing on the floor, but then engage this pulling, okay? So the pulling that is pulling your, I'm not sure what this bone is called in English. I will insert the name of it. But that is pulling kind of your sit bone maybe. Pulling your sit bone towards the floor almost, okay? So I push the floor. Let me explain that again. Push the floor, and as you come back, do you feel that what is driving you back is that sit bone coming to the floor? I'll try to explain it again. So I push the floor, and I just notice the consequences of that push. I push, push. Do you see how the way back is this motion? So let's see if we can find that motion. So rocking our pelvis and really giving that intention, that sit bone to the floor. Okay, see if you can find that. You can exaggerate, just play around, whatever. Okay, but see if you can find that pulling. Okay, sit bone seeks the floor. You see, so I'm exaggerating a lot here, but I'm really thinking the bone to the floor. I'm not thinking about the muscles. Okay. So let's stay in this rocking, just finding that pull, okay? And now that pull is essentially what's going to allow us to then push further into the floor. See, the navel sort of seeks the floor, I would say, but it's more so about the sit bone. Okay, and we come up. I hope this is making sense for you in your body. Let's do it again. So same side, we can stay on this side. Drop your knees completely. So I'm completely relaxed in my body. Now see if I can rock by pushing the floor with my feet. I'm kind of seeking out those diagonals in my body, connecting to my sit bone here, really noticing that diagonal that is going from my knee to my sit bone, seeking the floor with my sit bone. See if I can like take that movement somewhere. You see how the sit bone to the floor is what is leading my legs to come up, okay? So let's try to actually come up. All right. So what I'm trying to say by saying all of this is that when we do a knee drop, so a knee drop would be this, and then seeking the floor with the sit bone, it's that you will find that in the knee drop, doing it, let's say, correctly, the sit bone seeks the floor behind you, which means that there is a diagonal shift, okay? You're almost, so you're moving your pelvis back a little bit to come back to center, okay? More so than thinking, oh, I'm just lifting my legs. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? I'm not lifting my legs. I'm not using my muscles to come up. I'm not lifting. You see how this is lifting? So hard to grasp initially, but no lifting, just pushing, okay? Pushing, and then allowing that motion to go somewhere. Okay, let's try again. Pushing, coming up. Okay, let's try the other side just to balance it out, but we won't stay for that long. So begin by pushing the floor, finding diagonals, relaxing your abdomen, your chest, your pelvis. So by relaxing the muscles and pushing the floor, you're allowing your body to kind of figure it out itself, okay? Not controlling with your mind, but being present in your body. Okay, now connect to that sit bone. Begin really connecting to that right sit bone to the floor. Navel kind of seeking the floor as well, but it's more about the sit bone, it's more about the pelvis. Okay, and shall we try to come up, seek the floor, come up, okay. Let's do 2 to the right and 2 to the left, just to try this out. So I drop my knees, I drop my knees, seek the floor with the sit bone. To the left, drop my knees, seek the floor with the sit bone. Do you see how this is much more gentle to your pelvis than to contract all the muscles to come up? So this is really economizing the body, or economizing motion, I should say. Drop the knees and seek the floor with the sit bone. Drop the knees to the left. Seek the floor with your sit bones. 1 more on each side. Drop your knees. Seek the floor. Drop your knees. And seek the floor. Okay, well done. We can drop our knees to roll over. And now make a half circle to come up over your legs. Okay, so this is the most gentle way you can come off the floor, right? I hope this is making sense. Do leave me a comment if there is any questions or if something wasn't clear, and I'll hope to see you here next time. Ciao.